What's up, everybody? Green Arrow back here again. Hey, so we had some pretty awesome news that came out. Kind of in our little Nikola Twitter group that we have going on. We were talking about this. We said, hey, what would it be if Nikola acquired Romeo? And we're kind of looking at the stock price. We're like, wow, hitting 60 cents. Wow, hitting 55 cents. I said, this would be an easy acquisition. And this would actually be a nice beneficial acquisition because, as we know, Nikola has kind of their main battery supply source through Romeo. And Romeo's got hammered through this SPAC stage, just like everyone else has pretty much. So yes, Nikola has acquired Romeo. And don't want to make this too long, but here's some interesting details. They had a kind of an investor update this morning. Kim Brady and Mark Russell were on it. Gave some kind of insight and news. They couldn't give too much forward-looking information for second half of 22 going into 23. Second, pretty much primarily to the acquisition. But this is what we do know. So Nikola is acquiring Romeo at $144 million. This is, I think, again, I don't have the numbers right. I think it was about a 37% premium from Friday's stock price. Romeo was up on this news, and Nikola's up as well. I think we're up 6% right now. So this is good for multiple facets and reasons. One, we know as Nikola expands, they're going to need battery modules. That's just the fact of the matter. And having a secure supply source where you can pretty much have in-house battery production is going to be critical for Nikola and, frankly, for any manufacturer, vehicle manufacturer. Having that raw supply source where you can have in-house is really, as Mark Russell said, it's going to allow you to produce or engineer that destiny of how you want battery production to happen within your company. Nikola's really looking to go from machine to casting with these batteries, and that's going to save significantly. Kim Brady said coming into 2023, there's going to be about a 30 to 40% savings. Into 2026, there's going to be almost, I think he said, about a $350 million saving. Mind you, with their projection numbers, that they're going to be able to save bringing everything in-house. Romeo has about 400 employees right now. They have numerous patents, they have intellectual property, and Nikola is going to be able to absorb all of that into Nikola. On the investor call, some of these analysis, one of the questions was, hey, okay, so is Romeo, and now that it's going to be absorbed by Nikola, it'd be Nikola, is Nikola going to be in the battery business, right? Like, is Nikola going to want to produce these and become a merchant or a retail supplier of these batteries? And they said, no, we don't want to. I want to bring it in-house. We want to be able to have that vertical integration, and we want to bring it in-house so we can have the engineering, we can have the design, we can have really the means and modes of production to be able to bring this in-house for Nikola. So again, they don't want to be able to sell this on a merchant front. But they did say, there might be some obligations that we might have that we might fulfill or see out. But again, they're going to take those piece by piece. Kim Brady said there's some contracts that might be up for a month, some might be for 6 months, where, by convenience, they can step out of this. Keep in mind, Romeo was producing about 50% of Nikola's batteries. So they were a huge procurer of Romeo's batteries. So this is really just a natural evolution of Nikola being able to take this on. Keep in mind, Romeo was valued at 1.1 or 1.2 billion at a $10 stock price, literally just a year to 18 months ago. They have fallen from grace, like a lot of SPACs have. But it was just a natural evolutionary acquisition that just made sense really for Nikola. Probably not for any other companies through acquiring through Romeo. Why? Because Nikola was procuring 50%. Kim Brady mentioned this is essential because, you know what? Romeo just moved from Van Nuys to Cyprus with a brand new facility, brand new production line, brand new equipment, really just brand new everything. And a lot of their engineers were already kind of in this synergy with Nikola, right? Working back and forth. So this just complements Nikola very, very well. I see this as a huge win for Nikola. One, because Nikola said, you know, this isn't gonna exhaust any of the new price shares that we have out, any of the share offerings, right, for that 200 million. This is all going to be done with what we have now, and we're going to be able to meet our current obligations for any stock restrictions or earmarked stocks. That is not going to hurt anything else, right? We didn't have to shift really anything else around. This was already something that we could do, and it's not going to hurt any of the, or it's not going to exhaust from any of the stock that should be approved by tomorrow. And if not, they might adjourn a little bit longer, but it's inevitable. It's going to pass. It really is, right? We all know it. Even the trolls probably know it by now. It's going to pass. They're so close there. Keep in mind, this is a huge catalyst for Nikola. Nikola has a huge week this week, right? They had an unexpected kind of investor question and answer about the Romeo deal. Tomorrow's the proxy stockholder meeting, the shareholder meeting. The following day after that, August 4th, is our earnings report. And you know what? Like I said, Nikola hasn't really received any revenue from their core products, right? Their trucks. So what we're going to have is we're going to have earnings. And what that's going to be, you know what, there's a lot talking out there. We're going to think maybe they'll sell 30 trucks, maybe 50 trucks, whether hit that 10 to 15 million mark. Whatever the case, they're going to have earnings, and that's going to be great for them because that's really going to put them on the map of Wall Street. It's going to show, hey, you know what, they're making sales, and people are buying their trucks, and they'll be able to fulfill those 500, those kind of reserved of what they have set out to sell this year. So anyways, this Romeo acquisition, especially falling on the back of this Reduction Inflation Act, this is huge. There's huge catalysts coming down the pipeline for Nikola right now. And you know what? They got so much momentum. They got so much forward-moving wind behind their backs that Nikola is really on fire right here. And what's going to happen is, as this kind of starts popping up this stock, Nikola is going to be in a perfect position to be able to offer shares, right? If they can get up to maybe that $10 up into the $15, right? Depending on where these earning reports go, if they announce or when they announce these hydrogen infrastructure plans with TC Energy, as more is coming out on that front, you know, the stock's moving forward and it's moving up. Nikola will get those shares approved. They will be able to get approved. We're so close. It's a matter of time. I'm almost thinking, I could be wrong, right? This is just my subjective nature here. But because they made this announcement, because they were so eager to do this in Investor Day, I think they know that they have the approval, they have the votes, that 50% plus one. So this is good all around. We're going to be seeing some huge announcements like this moving forward with Nikola, right? Nikola is really trying to get ahead of the supply chain. They're really trying to get ahead of their means of production. They're really trying to get ahead of meeting those volumes. Also, keep in mind, they're still keeping the Proterra agreement because they know, like I said, Mark Russell said, like, hey, there's places like in Europe that Proterra might be able to hit that, you know, we're not going to have capacity for, or that we're not going to be able to have the means of production with our battery of excellence factory now. AKA the Romeo factory. So we want to keep it all open. Another thing is the LG supply for Romeo is just an additional, because they get their Nikola supply, they get the Romeo supply, so they're really just absorbing more of that capacity from LG. And so, you know, Nikola is really, like you see, their management team's being aggressive, right? They're really just getting ahead of the ball, right? And like the only thing I've really seen from the trolls today is, well, this is a bad time to do this. You know, the shares aren't going to be approved and liquidity. And it's like, look, you got to understand, like, Nikola is playing chess. They're getting ahead of the ball, right? They want to make sure that they have everything position locked and loaded, right? And so you see this on this front, right? And you don't see a lot of truck manufacturing. I mean, like, look at Hyliion. Like, they can barely procure a few nuts and bolts for test vehicles for their trucks, right? Like, their supply chain team is, like, really horrible. I'm not trying to be mean, but they're not a good management team on their supply chain. Like, how could you not see this? And how could you have 2-year delays when Nikola's really... How can Nikola produce 500 trucks and be able to procure everything and procure the e-axles and procure the batteries. Like, how can like Hyliion not even get a few parts? I mean, like, their supply chain teams, I mean, it's pretty bad, to be honest. It's embarrassing. So anyways, this is what we have coming down the pipeline. I want to keep this video short, but again, I always blab on. So I think this is good. I think we're going to have some huge announcements this coming week, coming into earnings report. But again, Nikola on the move again. I love the management team. Executives are always looking a step ahead. They're strategic, right? They're moving those chess pieces in place. We see that all the time with Nikola, from, you know, their hydrogen infrastructure to their offtake agreements, you know, to having these integration agreements with like Bosch to build the fuel cells on the line, right? They're always like setting up these pieces in play, so when the time comes to rise to the moment, they're ready to hammer and bring it to market, right? So Nikola's moving just like they should. If you haven't, vote now. Like, if you're voting no, like, in my opinion, you really shouldn't be a shareholder at this point, right? Because you don't understand the long vision, you don't understand the long trajectory, and you don't understand exactly like where Nikola's moving and where they're headed. Like, capital raise is like crucial right now. It is. Like, they're at a hinging point. They're doing everything that they said they would. We need that capital raise. So anyways, let's stay tuned. I'm going to be putting some more videos out this week as we get some more information here. But everyone, thanks for listening in. Always subscribe. Please subscribe, join the channel. If you haven't, just like the video, and I appreciate everyone. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.